a local church isn't letting the pandemic stop them from spreading holiday cheer this season. And the Badgers returned to Camp Randall for the first time in more than 6 weeks. See if they were able to top the Hoosiers on their final drive. Plus, Americans could start receiving coronavirus vaccines later this month, while the CDC says it won't have enough right now.
This is News 3 Now at 10.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in our area. Tonight was the annual holiday fire truck drive-through parade in Sun Prairie. The city's volunteer fire department decorated its trucks and was joined by vehicles from several other community organizations. A virtual tree lighting event also took place. It's the 105th year of the lighting of the tree at the Historical Library and Museum. The coronavirus is forcing many of our holiday traditions to change, but one Dane County church is trying to make sure that one survives. Adam Dexter joined them today as they work to deliver hope along with something else.
I was like, how is that even possible?
These days, Jay Jennings' front lawn is looking more like a tree lot.
Our neighbors are pretty familiar with us at this point. We always have something going on in our front yard.
But even this is something new for the pastor at Chapel Valley Church.
We have a lot of Christmas trees we're giving away.
And it's all for a good cause.
We've already received a lot of emails about people and just the desperate situation that they're in. And they are very grateful and excited at the opportunity of being able to have a tree and to celebrate and kind of celebrate with a tradition that they're used to.
So just like Santa and his helpers, the group of friends, neighbors, and church members got to work taking hundreds of trees to people who need them. Justin and Carolyn Schaefer delivering a dozen on Madison's northeast side.
You get to hop around house to house and, bring joy and Christmas cheer. It really does make me quite joyful and happy to, again, see the smiles on people's faces and be able to, even if you don't have much, here's what we're going to give you.
Jennings says each tree was purchased and donated by the church, with plenty of members giving to make it all happen. He says he's hopeful these trees will bring a sense of normalcy to a year that's taken so much, but also be a reminder of the reason for the season in the first place.
The Christmas tree is something that's in people's homes for the month. And our hope is that when people look at that tree, that they're reminded of the hope and the goodness that's out in the world and the good things that we've received.
In Madison, Adam Dexter, News 3 Now.
In years past, Jonan says the church has held a outdoor Christmas celebration, but coronavirus put an end to that, at least for this year. Let's get a look at your first warned weather. We could see a few flurries tonight, Dana.
Yeah, a few flurries might swirl around for us, not just tonight, but for tomorrow afternoon. Now, much of the area should stay dry, and of course, this is not expecting to lead to any accumulation, but right now we have a cloudy sky after what was a really beautiful sunset. This is the view from Wanakee this evening. Those clouds building in gives us those striking colors across the sky. As we look at our Doppler track tonight, you can see some of those spots kind of getting picked up for us. We're at 30 degrees currently in Madison, 32 in Janesville. Because it is so cloudy outside, we likely won't drop down into the teens overnight, but it does feel quite dry. Dew points in the mid to low 20s for much of the area, but notice off to the west where we are seeing some of those light flurry chances right now. Dew points are a little higher. Variably cloudy tomorrow with a slight chance for flurries late in the day. High temperatures will be in the upper 30s. And then a milder stretch expected by the middle of the week. We'll take a closer look at your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. The Badgers are on a 2-game losing streak after falling to Indiana today 14-6. Sports director Zach Hanley was at Camp Randall today and joins us with more on the game.
Amanda, it kind of felt like Northwestern 2.0 today. More penalties, more turnovers, and points. Well, they were hard to come by for that Badger offense. UW has won 10 straight over Indiana. That streak was snapped today. First quarter, Wisconsin driving, and Graham Mertz gets blindsided. He fumbles. Indiana would pounce on it, and the turnover would turn into Hoosier points. Jack Tuttle to a wide-open Peyton Hendershot. Indiana goes up 7-0. It's 14-6 in the fourth. 4th and 10 for the Badgers. Basically last chance. Mertz throws it up for Chimere Dike, but he can't come down with it. Badgers lose their second straight, 14-6.
You got to play good football to give yourself a chance to beat a good football team, and if you're not doing that, you make it harder. And penalties, offensively, defensively, special teams. we didn't help ourselves. So I think it comes back to good football gives you a chance to win. And there was a lot of great effort and I think moments of really good play, but not enough.
So Wisconsin falls to 2-2 on the year with a big trophy game next week at Iowa. Coming up in sports, what the Badgers say offensively, they need to execute better. Amanda, last 2 games, total of 13 points. It's not going to get it done.
That is not. Thank you so much, Zach. Turning to our coronavirus headlines now, Wisconsin is reporting more than 4,100 new cases over the past day. 63 more people have died, while about 63,000 of the state's nearly 410,000 all-time cases remain active. Flags flew at half-staff today in honor of a town of Ixonia EMT who died after contracting COVID-19 in the line of duty. Captain Kelly Lynn Rather died on November 26th. In a statement this week, Governor Evers applauded her courage and selflessness for putting her health on the line during the pandemic. Ixonia's fire chief says Rather was exposed to the virus in late October after her crew transported a patient to a hospital. As a brutal second wave strikes, coronavirus has become the leading cause of death in America. 14,000 deaths have been reported since Thanksgiving. In a CNN town hall last night, Dr. Anthony Fauci said we are headed for a post-holiday surge.
The event usually is followed by 2 to 3 weeks later, you see the increase in cases, which puts it right at the cusp before the Christmas holiday, where you're going to have more travel and more congregating.
The University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation projects 260,000 more people could die by the spring. New CDC guidelines urge postponing travel and, in some circumstances, wearing a mask at home. We know vaccines are coming, but the CDC is telling health officials across the U.S. that its first shipment of vaccines might fall short of expectations. The agency let states know this week how many doses will be in that initial shipment. Health experts say it looks like it will not be enough to fully vaccinate the people designated as top priority. That includes healthcare workers and nursing home residents. That's about 24 million people. Officials estimate about 40 million vaccines will be available in the next couple of weeks. But remember, each person needs 2 doses, meaning that's only enough for 20 million people. Mass vaccination efforts are officially underway in Moscow. The campaign started today. The Russian capital has 70 different vaccination points, each operating for 12 hours a day. Russian officials say more than 100,000 people have already been vaccinated. With Georgia at the center of the political universe right now, President Trump was at a rally tonight in support of the state's 2 Republican senators. But leading up to the visit, the president's criticism toward the state's governor is sending mixed messages to supporters. Meredith Wood has more.
We've never lost an election. We're winning this election.
President Trump made a stop in Georgia Saturday evening.
This is something that's very important, and you have to get out, you have to vote, you have to make sure you have every vote counted.
He was there to support the 2 Republican senators, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue, ahead of the January 5th runoff election for key seats in the Senate. But leading up to his appearance, the president has been critical of Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp, even hours before arriving, accusing him of not doing enough to protest the election results in the state. And according to sources, Trump called Kemp Saturday, asking him to convince state legislators to overturn President-elect Joe Biden's win in the state, which has already been certified last month after a hand recount. The audit was required by state law, and the results gave Biden the win with more than 12,000 votes. On the call, Trump asked Kemp to hold a special session to convince state legislators to select their own electors that would support him. Trump also asked the Georgia governor to order an audit of absentee ballot signatures. Kemp explained that he did not have the authority to order such an audit and denied the request to call a special session. Meanwhile, all 4 Senate candidates continue their campaigns around the state on Saturday. I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
President Trump also claimed tonight that he, quote, actually won the election in Wisconsin. But Governor Evers certified the state's results in a win for President-elect Biden just last Monday. The Cook County Sheriff's Office in Illinois has announced charges in a cold case from more than 17 years ago. 41-year-old Antoinette Briley is accused of murdering her twin newborn sons. She was taken into custody on Thursday. In 2003, the infants were discovered by a waste management employee who was emptying trash bins in an alley. Police say an autopsy determined the victims were born alive and died of asphyxiation. The investigation later turned into a cold case, but reopened it in 2018. Investigators say they used a discarded item from Briley, which matched the victim's DNA.
On Thursday, Sheriff's Police learned that Briley was in Cook County and took her into custody after a traffic stop in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Briley was transported to the Sheriff's Police headquarters here in Maywood, where she admitted post-Miranda to her involvement in the birth, death, and disposal of the two deceased infants.
Briley was scheduled to appear in Cook County Court today. She's facing charges of first-degree murder. Attorneys for Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend are planning to file a new motion for her release on bail next week. Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of sex trafficking young girls for Epstein. She's said to be providing a clearer picture of her finances in court. Maxwell was originally denied bail as a potential flight risk. Attorneys say the new filing for bail includes sensitive and private information allegedly damaging to third parties. The application is expected to be filed on Monday. David Lander, the actor who played Squiggy on the sitcom Laverne and Shirley, has died. Lander's character lived upstairs from Laverne and Shirley. The show was a spin-off of Happy Days and was set in Milwaukee. Lander appeared in more than 120 movies and TV shows during his career. The 73-year-old was recently battling multiple sclerosis. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Dana has your first warn forecast, plus how the Dane County community is helping a family that lost its home still land on its feet. Plus, meet the UW-Madison student who's making it his mission to help young refugees in Uganda.